Okay, if you drive around Chattanooga, especially on the interstates these days, first of all, there's construction everywhere, it feels like. Depending on the day, people are either driving too slow or they're zooming around you, and probably you get home and you say, gosh, I barely missed 3 accidents on my way to work or home from work. It's crazy around here. We all know that. So do John Mark Griffin and C. Mark Warren, who happen to be here from Warren and Griffin.
Ain't it good to be alive and be in Tennessee?
And look who's prepared for the game. And this is not Blue Jay Blue.
No, that's not Blue. I would not be sitting
Blue.
beside you for Blue Jay Blue, okay? That's a nice game, right.
Okay.
But before we get to the crash cams, John Mark and I take this opportunity to welcome all the out-of-state billboard lawyers to Chattanooga and to tell them a few things about Chattanooga. First off, you know, in Chattanooga, we think of Chick-fil-A as Jesus chicken. That's number one.
And it's Lafayette, not Lafayette.
That's right, you know, and don't plan your wedding on a football Friday night, because nobody's going to show up, right?
And what about Highway 58 and 58 Highway?
I thought those were the same roads for a long time, you know, but they're different roads also.
Oh, no, or they're the same road.
They're the same roads.
Yeah,
they're the same roads.
They're the same roads.
And if they need to find their way to the courthouse, we have a picture of the courthouse. Where's the courthouse? That's the courthouse right there.
It's just right here.
So the out-of-state billboard lawyers want to find their way to the courthouse. There it is. Our office is right down there. We're a 4-minute walk.
In fact, they can call us.
They can
we'll
call
take them
us.
over there and introduce them to the
we
judges.
can introduce them to the judges up there. Yeah, 265-HER.
Yeah.
265-4878. So if you need to find your way to the courthouse, just come by our building, okay?
Be happy to do it.
Now, back to the crash cams.
Are you through?
I'm through. I'm through. Are we through now?
We're through.
Okay. You're in charge here, Julie. I'm sorry. You're in charge.
We were just making some jokes actually a minute ago because I said something to Mark Warren about, do you want to move your phone? And they were laughing at me because that's what all women say to the men in their lives. So I'm letting y'all just run your gamut.
Okay. So much.
And now you're
okay.
So I will bring it back for one second because wouldn't you agree that traffic is insane?
Traffic is insane, you know, and TDOT has these cameras set up along the interstate, and we all see them watching Channel 3 News, Local 3 News, about the traffic conditions. You bring up the TDOT cameras, and those are cameras that are caught in real time to actually determine traffic patterns, you know. But now we have the ability to bring up actually an accident that happens on the interstate that we can actually use as evidence in negotiations and at trial.
But this is something exclusive to you.
Yes, that's correct. We have exclusive access to that. And what we're able to do is if there is a crash, we can get that footage. We have exclusive rights to it. Nobody else has that right. And we can use that footage to assist in a case.
And we're actually seeing some footage right here of an actual client, and that's what we can bring up now and use for our clients as far as an interstate crash.
Okay, so is this even more relevant now because the police department began to change a little bit when they come to an accident versus not? So what used to be kind of the boots on the ground objective view might not always be occurring.
That's a great point, because not always are you going to have law enforcement at an accident scene. You know, it has to be a certain level of severity to have law enforcement at the accident scene.
And that can differ from department to department. For example, Chattanooga Police Department does something different than, say, the police department in Cleveland. So that depends on locale, but nonetheless, these crashes happen on the interstate where typically the state troopers get involved. We have exclusive access to that footage.
Okay, you are, you mentioned the out-of-town, the billboard lawyers and everything. So TDOT is the whole state.
Right.
If you happen to have an accident and you are on Monteagle, and there's a TDOT camera there, can you still?
We have the ability to track down that footage.
Yes, absolutely.
And use it in negotiations with the insurance company, showing the tragedy actually occurring in real time to show actually how our clients went through that, and also at trial too, as well, to show the juries.
The great thing about the videos, it removes that element of a my word against your word. It actually shows, what happened in real time at the actual speed, and like I said, we have all that footage available.
Will it? I know the way you handle fees, I believe, is it's a contingency fee. So that means if you win.
Yes, we don't get paid unless our clients get paid, and my wife enjoys it when we get paid. So we do screen cases to make sure that there's liability on our side, there's damages, and there's insurance coverage. However, people got to realize that the amount of contingency fees that lawyers charge differs. And we have seen contracts from out-of-state billboard lawyers that charge up to 45% in a contingency fee case, 45%.
And Julie, we will never charge more than a third in any type of crash. And also, our clients will never get less money than we do. They're going to always get more than the fee. We're never going to take a fee that's greater than what the client will put in their pocket.
I had a phone call last week of a client that hired an out-of-state billboard lawyer. The case settled for $50,000. Her attorney got 45%. After she paid her doctors, she pocketed $10,000. Out of a $50,000 settlement, she got $10,000. That has never happened at Warren and Griffin. Over 35 years, we have never and will never pocket more than a client gets in a settlement or a jury verdict.
So you don't want to waste
In their pocket.
You don't want to waste your time, and you don't want to waste their time. So back again to this access to the TDOT camera, if it's a relevant case with that.
Right.
Might you ever sometimes use that too to let a person know, you know what, I think this is going to be too tricky to prove?
Absolutely. Video is helpful both ways. It's helpful to establish that there's fault on behalf of the other party. It also may help say, hey client, there's a problem here. Here's the video that shows it. So it can be helpful both ways.
We are monitoring the interstate cameras daily. And so when a crash happens on the interstate, we'll upload that to our social media sites.
Okay.
Where if you are involved in a car accident on the interstate or know someone that is, you can go to our social media sites and look at the video.
Last time you were here, I'm pretty sure it was last time, you were stressing uninsured motorists insurance.
Right. Still are.
Still important.
Remind
Still very
people
important.
of that, yeah.
Well, if you're hit by, 25% of the drivers on Tennessee roads don't have insurance, zero insurance, and because they're bad drivers and they can't get insurance. And so what happens
Is that why?
Yeah, that's why. They can't afford it.
Either can't afford it or they have to pay high risk insurance and they're electing to make their monthly payment or their premium as cheap as they possibly can. So one of the first ways they can cut is you cut uninsured motorists first, and then you cut liability, and then you have no insurance. So for drivers who do have insurance, you should always opt for that uninsured motorist coverage. It is pennies on the dollar compared to what you're paying for liability coverage.
Okay.
And we still run across clients that we sign up and we dig into the case and there's no insurance on the other driver, even though they might show an insurance card to the police officer, that insurance card is not valid. And so it falls back on our clients to have uninsured motorists. And we have to tell a client occasionally, there's just no recovery there because you don't have an insured motorist. There's just no recovery. You can go to court, you can get a piece of paper, but there's no recovery because you have no uninsured motorist. Also, getting your car repaired too. If they have no insurance on the other side and you have liability only, and someone else caused the accident, you're out of the car now.
You may be stuck holding the bag.
Right.
I know, I hate to be like the Debbie Downer, but you also have educated me on the whole 100 deadliest days thing, which is summertime.
It's coming up.
But we've had the daylight saving time switch, so our days are longer. Do you see more accidents now?
Really, it's actually when kids get out of school.
Okay.
Yeah,
Memorial
Day
Day to Labor Day, we see an uptick of young drivers being involved in accidents.
And we will be talking about that again.
Mom and Dad, it's a great time during Memorial Day weekend to sit them down, get out the contract and say, listen, put away your phone, obey the speed limit, no more than 2 in the car, because really it upticks.
No texting and driving, no distracting.
Okay, so to wrap up, one, the whole TDOT thing, that's interstate only. If it happens to be on, which is it? 58 Highway or Highway 58?
It's 58 Highway.
58 Highway.
If you're from Chattanooga, you say 58 Highway. That's a tell that you're from Chattanooga, 58 Highway.
And Lafayette.
And Lafayette. Not Lafayette.
And Tryon.
And Tryon, yeah.
That's another one.
Tryon.
Not Tryon.
Yeah, Tryon, yeah.
Tryon. And Whitwell.
And Whitwell. You gotta say Whitwell.
Absolutely.
Whitwell. And high school football Friday nights are sacrosanct.
And he will tell you say go Vols.
Go Big Orange!
It's going to be a great night.
Yes.
I don't know how you do it, John Martin. Here's where you'll find him.
34 years of training.
Absolutely.
Still at the Dome Building.
Yeah, still the Dome Building.
265 Hurt, WarrenandGriffin.com.
Thank you, Jim.
You're welcome.
Come on.